Hey, I'm G, and this is the G-Spot. Being an introvert, I wanted to speak on introversion today. There is currently a movement in our society to educate us on introverts, how they relate to the world, and how they are different from extroverts. Part of this is how introversion is not a choice, it's not something we're gonna change. And guess what? It's not something that we want to change. Believe me when I tell you, the world needs introverts. Why does the world need introverts? Well, because all introverts do is sit around and think, man. We have lots of problems that we have to solve. We don't seem to be making all of the best decisions right now. We seem to be increasing our problems. The whole technology thing, like, it's crazy how quickly we adapt to technology and allow it to come into our lives without saying, what does it mean that we're going to bring this technology into our lives? So the thing is introverts do all this. They're sitting in their house by themselves thinking, and it would be really useful to the world to have these thoughts from introverts because they're thinking things through to a much further extent than any extrovert is. They're problem solvers. They're natural problem solvers because they like to sit with their thoughts. And this is why introverts are so valuable to the world. So here's the thing. The introvert movement is great. I'm going to mention Twitter. There is Introvert Dear, which is a great Twitter account to follow. And on Facebook, there is Mind of an Introvert, which is a great account to follow. So there's also some TED Talks on introverts and books coming out and all this sorts of stuff. And it's all really great because, one, introverts need to understand that it's not handicaps, that it's just part of who they are, and they need to embrace this part of them. That was a big part of what I got out of these social media sites. There are certain tendencies and my behaviors that I thought I was a wacko about. But it turns out it's just because I'm introverted, and through these sites I see a lot of introverts do these same things. And it makes me feel good, to know that I'm not a wacko and that there's other people like me. We all want to feel like we belong, right? So that's one great thing about these sites. And the other thing is it's just educating the world in general about introversion, letting extroverts know about introverts and that what they need and that their personality traits are not a handicap and all that stuff. However, there is something that I've seen on these sites that I'd like to see move in a different direction. I don't really like it. I think it's not going to help our cause. What I've seen is a tendency for introverts to want to be victims. A tendency for introverts to feel like, oh, society doesn't understand my needs and they need to be different for me so that I'm comfortable. So this is a big mistake that we shouldn't be making as introverts. Just listen to what I said 2 minutes ago. Introverts are problem solvers and the world needs introverts. You know what the world doesn't need? Victims. We have tons of them. The world needs problem solvers, and that's what introverts are. There was a post on social media over the holidays. It was from an introvert who celebrated Christmas with his family and who struggled through the present opening process. Present opening is a great part of Christmas. I think even introverts look forward to it. It's very exciting. However, the actual process of present opening, that's a lot for an introvert to take. There's a lot of noise. There's a lot of commotion. Everybody's jammed together in one room. And it's just a lot of input for an introvert to deal with. So by all means, sympathetic with this poster's problem. He went through the present opening ceremony, made it through it, but it was after the ceremony that he felt like he needed a nap. So then he goes to take a nap, and his wife, they were at his in-laws' house, and his wife asks the other people who are celebrating a holiday to please quiet down while he naps. As you can imagine, this caused a bit of a problem. The husband and wife left and told the family that they do not feel like he is welcomed with them because they would not quiet down for his nap. So this caused a big problem for this family on a holiday, right? Family had to leave a holiday. That's nobody wants that, right? That's not fun. So let's look at this because this is an example of turning yourself into a victim because you're an introvert. And you're not a victim as an introvert. You're a problem solver. So let's look at this situation being a problem solver instead of a victim. If we want the world to embrace us, if we truly want to rise up and have this introvert movement matter, let's do it as problem solvers. That's how the world's going to embrace us. They're not going to embrace a bunch of victims. They got enough. So let's look at how we can start being problem solvers when we feel like we're victims. Because I get that we feel like we're victims. It's easy to. The world is very harsh to us, like this. I get that. But we're not victims. There's one solution there's two problems in this story, and there's one solution to both. The two problems are, how do I get through a present opening ceremony without needing a nap? The second problem is, if I do need a nap in a house full of people, how do I take one without asking them to quiet down? Okay? This answer here, by the way, is an answer for 1,000 introvert problems. This is what I'm about to tell you. If you do not own, and I'm not being sponsored by anybody, if you do not own this, you need to go buy it. They're like $5. What every introvert needs to own is a pair of earplugs. Yeah, earplugs are an introvert's best friend. If we take earplugs to this Christmas party with us, if you need to take a nap in a house filled with people, you pop some earplugs in, and you are nap city, guaranteed. Now, let's take this one step further. You are at a holiday celebration, and even though introverts think they need to nap a lot, perhaps a holiday party isn't the best time to take a nap. So how could this nap have been avoided? Well, wear the earplugs during the present opening ceremony. Yeah, so I'm really serious about the earplugs. You have no idea how huge of a difference it could make. Now, you would hear people talking around you with earplugs in, and you could even adjust how much noise earplugs let in by how deeply you put them in your ears. And what this does, though, is you can still hear the people around you, but it really drops all the volume down. So it's at a nice, tolerable level. And you don't feel like you're being attacked by voices. I actually wear earplugs to the movie theater. Movie theaters are much too loud for me at this point. Inception is one of my favorite movies in the past decade. When I went to see it in the movie theater, I literally could not wait to leave because all of the gunfire was way too much noise. It was too loud. I couldn't stand it. Ever since that movie, I wear earplugs to movie theaters. Even if actors whisper, I can easily hear them. Yet the soundtrack never gets too loud for me to the point where I feel like I need to leave the theater. Earplugs are just one example of easy ways introverts can solve the problems they find in society. I can't encourage you enough, if you are an introvert, to search for answers to your problems rather than just declaring you're a victim because you're an introvert. The world needs problem solvers, and right now, our best problem solvers are all hiding in their house and not talking to anybody. We need to create a society where introverts are welcome. And this job of creating a society where introverts are welcome, it lies both with extroverts and introverts. And it mostly lies with introverts. It's time for us to stand up, to recognize that society needs us, and to find our own answers to the problems we face when we submerge ourselves into society, so that society can benefit from our natural gift of problem solving. It's just fucking horrible.